Do you want to know an awesome way to learn more about test automation and at the same time help the environment? Looking for a super helpful way to debug JMeter performance tests? And how was Uber recently hacked? Find out the answers to these and all other end-to-end full pipeline DevOps, software testing, automation testing, performance testing, and security testing in 10 minutes or less in this episode of the Test Skill News Show for the week of September 18th. So grab your favorite cup of coffee or tea and let's do this. This episode of the Test Skill News Show is sponsored by the awesome folks at Applitools, a visual AI validation testing platform that's a must-have for any automation testing effort. So don't miss their special offer going on now that allows you to create a free account by clicking on the link in the comment down below. And while you're there, why not leave a comment, subscribe, and get alerted every time I release a new episode. First up, automation news. So a few weeks ago, I interviewed the folks at LoadMill, which is a really cool AI platform that allows you to automatically automate API tests, which is really cool. And I noticed they just came out with a new feature that I think is going to help you even more. So this new feature is called Test Composer, and it's a Google Chrome extension, and it uses AI to generate automated API tests in real time right from your browser. And so you should definitely check this out. If you click on the link, it'll take you directly to the page where you can then add the Chrome extension to get started and actually see this in action. So another cool development from the folks at LoadMill, it's an up-and-coming tool that I think you definitely should check out, and you can check it out in the first comment down below. Well, every time Apple releases a new version of the iPhone, I think they just released iPhone 14, a lot of the browser-based solutions out there that help you test all these devices come out with some new announcements. And the first one that caught my attention was by Sauce Labs. So Sauce Labs announced that they're the first to market to support iOS 16 on real devices. iOS 16, if you don't know, introduced a whole bunch of new cool enhancements and features to help you deliver better customer experiences. And if you go to the Sauce Labs article, it goes over some of the new features in iOS 16, and it's a really great breakdown of this new release. So definitely check this out once again in the first comment down below. So if you do a lot of API testing, my guess is you have to deal a lot with JSON files. So I think this next article is really going to help you with visualizing JSON. Let's check it out. All right, this is by Priscilla. If you don't know, Priscilla also was on the Test Automation podcast maybe a month or two ago, and she really brought a lot of cool tools and techniques you should definitely check out as well. But in this latest LinkedIn post, she talks about a tool that really helps her visualize or work with complex JSON. And so the post goes over what the tool is that helps her with the visualization, how to use it, and some cool bonus features as well. So thank you, Priscilla, for that, and thank you for all you do for the community. Also on LinkedIn, I noticed that Nikolai posted information about an event he's running called Testing for Good, which has a really cool twist on it because all the proceeds go to charity. So he lists out a really great lineup. It's happening October 18th to the 20th, and also they're going to have some industry leaders like Gleb, Boz, Titus, all people you know and like. And 100% of ticket sales for this are going to go to raising contributions for the Environmental Working Group. And it lists out all the speakers and all the sessions that are going on at this event. So I highly recommend you check this out, support this awesome cause. And thank you, Nikolai, for this awesome initiative. And you can register for this once again in the first comments down below. And another initiative that really caught my eye is that LambdaTest just announced $250,000 grant for open source developers and projects working on test frameworks and tools. Do you qualify? Let's see. And LambdaTest created this to help support deep-rooted innovation that will push the envelope for the entire QA and testing community. And so open source developers who are working on projects on testing frameworks and tools that have made significant contributions or are a maintainer of at least one open source testing project can apply for this grant. And it goes over some other things that need to be in the place in order for you to qualify. So great initiative. And thank you, all you contributors to open source. And here's a big thank you from LambdaTest that hopefully you will qualify for. And I also came across a new tool that I think you're really going to be interested in. It's a quality integration framework that helps you with CI/CD with AI-driven testing capabilities. So let's check it out. And this is from Copado, and they're a low-code DevOps solution. And this is a DevOps platform for Salesforce, which is becoming more and more popular, really hard to test, but I'm seeing a lot more tools coming out in this area. And I'm not sure if you know how popular Salesforce is, but 90% of Fortune 500 companies rely on Salesforce to build their digital business. This article also says 84% of Salesforce teams report they're still relying on manual tests to help them with their testing efforts. And that's why having a tool that helps you with automation testing and integration is becoming even more popular. So if you do any type of Salesforce testing, if your company has Salesforce applications that you haven't tested yet, here's a solution that you should definitely check out. Next up, performance and site reliability news. So if you're a performance expert and you need to do a lot of performance engineering, I came across a toolbox that can help you with a lot of the calculations you need to perform to get your work done. And this is posted by Joseph, who is the founder of the company Perf. You can see all the different things in the toolbox that you can get help with, like figuring out your throughput, concurrent users, session time, allowed downtime, expected availability, revenue calculator, and I'm sure they'll be adding more along the way. So definitely an awesome resource. Thank you, Joseph, for that. And if you haven't checked it out, you can find it in the first comment down below. If you need to debug JMeter performance test and load test, here's another resource I found from LinkedIn that I think you're going to enjoy as well. All right, this is from Naeem, and it's a new blog post on JMeter performance and load testing and how to debug it using or with the assistance of BlazeMeter. So if you click on the post, the article goes over how teams can debug your JMeter test, how to use JMeter debug and sampler, how to use the JMeter debugger post processor, and debugging in JMeter using the JR223 sampler. And this article has a lot of screenshots and step-by-step examples on how you can get started with each of these different areas. So a great resource. Thank you, Naeem, for that. And definitely give him a follow if you don't already, because he's always posting a lot of cool things, not just on performance testing, but also automation testing as well. Next up, security testing news. So for this week's real-world example, we have a great breakdown of a recent Uber incident, and it explains how it happened, how they were hacked, and what they did to resolve it. And if you click on the links in the LinkedIn article, it goes over what the hack was, how the hack was achieved, what else was involved in the breach, and some other information. So if you're doing anything with security, the great way for you to learn from other people's breaches, and hopefully you can find out what they did to resolve it or what they did, and then how you can implement yourself to make it so you don't get exploited the same way. So as I mentioned earlier, over 90% of Fortune 500 companies actually use Salesforce. So we went over a tool that can help you actually do some automation testing with Salesforce. But what about security? Well, I got you covered. Let's see what this tool can do to help you make your Salesforce ecosystems more secure. All right, this is by AutoRABIT. They unveil a new security tool for Salesforce ecosystems. And they go over one of the reasons why they developed it is that a expanding workforce of less experienced developers require tools for enhanced capabilities, particularly those involving cybersecurity. And that's why AutoRABIT released this particular solution for you. So this is a new no-code analysis tool that allows admin and developers to easily scan a Salesforce ecosystem for security threats and immediately inform them of potential errors before a major breach occurs. And obviously, poor code slows future velocity and creates additional risk for compliance and security. And that's why having these types of tools are becoming even more important now than ever. So if you're using Salesforce, once again, definitely highly recommend you check this out as well. And for links of everything of value we covered in this news episode, head on over to all the links in the first comment down below. They'll be timestamped as well. And while you're there, why not check out our awesome sponsor, Applitools' free account offer, and discover how to take your automation testing to the next level, leveraging visual AI. So that's it for this episode of the Test Guild News Show. I'm Joe. My mission is to help you succeed in creating end-to-end full-stack pipeline automation awesomeness. As always, test everything and keep the good. Cheers.